Hello friends, welcome to ProTalent IAS Academy, and in this 9th February editorial discussion, we are talking about one very important topic called private sector space race. So I'm sure you know how things have happened. So इस particular session के दौरान आपको ये पता चलेगा that which are the various private agencies which are fighting for this space. So that's where our focus would be, and what are the learning which India can take from this. So let's talk about, you can say, first and foremost the news item that SpaceX का एक the heavy करके एक उनका जो launcher था that took off from LC-39A launch pad from NASA, from a Kennedy Space Center. It is the same pad used to launch Apollo 11 mission that put man in the moon. And the heavy, which is from a company called SpaceX, is considered to be the most powerful rocket currently in the operation. Okay, so this is what the news item is. Further, SpaceX, it is cost saving and the reusability approach. Okay, so it is a reusable. 2 out of this heavy 3 rockets, okay, they touch down the base. Okay, so that means they can launch payload up to 64 tons at relatively low price of $90 million. That is where this is the, you can say, idea. India is also working on. So India has this PSLV, we have GSLV, okay, and India is also working on reusable launch vehicle. This is where India is working on, and if reusable launch vehicle will turn out to be a success, then possibly it will be the most cost saving approach available to us. So it is not too distant past that it would be difficult to conceive of a commercial enterprising leading the pack. So there is a possibility that in future commercial enterprises, it is not run by the state, but it will be, you can say, private people will be doing this. So let's talk about what is the rise of this private sector. So private sector companies have operated in space since early 1980s. Now this is also not confined to US. Okay, there is a lot of healthy ecosystem has been developed around ISRO as well. India में भी ISRO को सपोर्ट करने वाले बहुत सारे प्राइवेट प्लेयर्स अवेलेबल है, बट देयर इज अ सब्सटेंशियल डिफरेंस बिटवीन ओल्डर बिजनेस मॉडल एंड व्हाट Musk and other, you can say, space entrepreneurs are attempting to do. So there's a difference. So earlier business model was, if you are a private player, you are not going for a mainstream activity on the space, but you provide fringe support, ancillary support is what you provide. आजू बाजू का जो भी आपको टेक्नोलॉजी बना के देना है, that's what an individual company will make. But in the Musk model, it is what they take risk on their own and they put man on the space. So heavy is capable of putting heavy national security satellites to low Earth orbit. That's very important. Okay, but that's not the long-term goal of Elon Musk. Remember Elon Musk? He was a founder of PayPal. Later on, he was a founder of Tesla, and now it is SpaceX. He is aiming at manned space flight and Mars colonization. In fact, I'm sure आप सबको पता होगा, मार्स में कॉलोनाइजेशन करना was his dream. Amazon's founder जेफ बेजोस, जो आपको यहाँ पे दिख रहा है, ठीक है, उनकी कंपनी का नाम है ब्लू ओरिजिन, एंड एक वर्जिन ग्रुप के फाउंडर रिचर्ड ब्रांसन, उनका भी एक ऑर्गेनाइजेशन विच इज कॉल्ड वर्जिन गैलेक्टिक, ठीक है, दे आर मोर ओरिएंटेड टुवर्ड्स स्पेस tourism. So the point here is, when these private people are coming, there are dangerous setbacks which are coming. For example, Virgin Atlantic spaceship has 2, you can say, flight crashes in 2014, and one of the pilot was dead. And Jeff Bezos also takes this understanding कि यार ये तो problem है. If we can make access to space at low cost, then entrepreneurship will be unleashed. And you will see the same thing in the space that I have witnessed on the internet in the last 2 years. So पिछले 2 सालों में इंटरनेट में जो बदलाव आया, वैसा ही कुछ बदलाव इस स्पेस वाली फील्ड में आएगा, ऐसा उनका मानना है. So it's becoming very positive, but at the same time there are people who are saying that there may be a big risk available. So the point is how this entrepreneurial energy is starting to come together. That's where the major point is. एंड यहाँ से इंडिया को सीखना बहुत जरूरी है that how this entrepreneurship part has to be developed, nurtured and उन सबको एक जगह पे इकट्ठा कैसे लाना. So number one was startup like Moon Express or Bangalore based Team Indus, and they are aiming to compete Google's $20 million Lunar XPrize competition. ठीक है, अब हालांकि ये Lunar XPrize competition has been closed now, but ये प्राइज जीतने के लिए entrepreneurial energy have been put in a big way, and there is a scramble to get around the limitations of terrestrial network for broadband connectivity by putting massive constellation of small communication satellite on this low earth orbit and thereby giving lot of benefit to this broadband connectivity. Okay, so that is how in India it is happening. Okay, now what are the other areas how things are moving? Like for example SpaceX, OneWeb. Okay, OneWeb is basically a consortium of space related companies, you can say backed by Richard Branson, okay, and Sunil Bharti Mittal, as well as we have a SoftBank. Okay, they are supporting, as well as Boeing, Samsung, they are also in race for this space. Another area, asteroid mining. Asteroid mining is also coming up in a big way. In 2017, Goldman Sachs report said that there is a potential for monetization and disrupting commodity market. Venture firm and angel investors are starting to look up at this kind of startup. Okay, so therefore entrepreneurial energies are coming in a big way. So what is the legal aspect here? Okay, by all these things, if they have to grow, this legislative angle has to be very important. Okay, space activity is still governed by that 1967 Outer Space Treaty, which says that state actors cannot go for military activity there or claiming celestial bodies, so they cannot do that. And also they force state to regulate all private sector activities originating within their body. So that means it is the state, it is the government which will regulate everything. That is where the scenario coming up. So the US has a patchwork of regulatory bodies but no real point agency available. In India, regulatory tangle is worse. We lack, you can say, nodal body, which is an independent body which creates a level playing field for government as well as for the private people. So there are no, you can say, opportunities available on the legal ground. So there is a good requirement that legal angle इसको और better develop करने की बात है. अब ये legal develop कैसे करें? A ray of hope is coming in India as well, because in November last year, Department of Space had put a draft of which is called Space Activities 2017 bill online for the comments of the public. But the bill had limitation. It says one size fits all approach. So therefore it fails to take substantially different requirement of various space related activities. So therefore this is not helping in, you can say, ease of doing business. So the country called Luxembourg, which is attempting to turn itself into an asteroid mining hub with a law that passed last year establishing necessary legal framework. India has a public and private sector potential to exploit, you can say, first mover advantage. Okay. If it addresses this private sector space, there is a good possibility that India can emerge in a big way. And as this article talks about, that there is an urgent need to do that. So I hope this is very clear to you about space race by private players. Thank you very much for watching this.